Alright guys, fun with the 216 today. Well, went to start it this morning. Starter sounded like crack. Probably won't be able to see in there. But, see the flywheel? It's missing all those chunks. Good thing, picked up a free 216 about 3 years ago. Same exact model, same exact year. Got a good motor. I'm gonna pull the flywheel and starter off it and plop it on this one. Bad news is, gotta spend a couple hours pulling this motor out. Hard part's already done. Got the drive shaft bolts out. I find it's easiest if you pull your seat pan off. You can put your, what's that called, plumber's wrench right there. Your drive shaft on the U-joints. And that'll keep your drive shaft from spinning when you're taking your bolts out. Works pretty good there. Half inch. It's a half-inch ratcheting wrench. Get right in there and get her done. Took me about 5-10 minutes. Now it's time to unplug all the wires. Pull the last 2 remaining motor mounts out. Motor mount bolts, I guess. And we'll pull her out. I'm gonna do little things like paint the firewall and get the dash tower cleaned up. I'll wash the whole thing because it's 60 degrees out in November. May as well use it to my advantage. Alright, I'll check back in when the motor's out. Alright, as we can see here, the motor is out. There's 4 bolts, 2 in the front, which each had nuts on the back, 2 9/16 bolts in the back. Also the drive shaft, and you gotta unhook everything, which is also fun. We got the frame cleaned up. I did rust reformer on it. I'm gonna degrease this whole entire area, get the flywheel on, and paint the hood, because the hood doesn't look too good. May as well, it's warm enough. The seat pan's a whole different story. I'm not even gonna touch that yet. Maybe. I don't know. As you can see behind here, it's pretty gross. It's not too far gone, but if I don't give it some attention soon, it will be. Probably just spray rust reformer on the back and call it good. But yep. Never work on Onans, and when I do, it's always a shit show. Well, we're scrubbing her down. Way cleaner than when it got here. Don't mind the gas pissing everywhere. Yep. Cleaning her up. Alrighty, I got a little bit distracted and decided I wanted to get the hood done right. Way better than it was initially. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this tractor, but it's starting to put so much work in it already, may as well keep it. Gonna pull that flywheel off and put it on this beast. And this muffler is way better than this muffler, so I'm gonna swap that over. And that's all I really need here. Should be a fun freaking time getting that flywheel off. Hopefully it comes off without a problem and nothing breaks. Well, I got the flywheel off, we'll do the starters of course, but yep, she's coming along. I'll check back in with you when I make some progress on the motor. Alright, so we got the flywheel off of our parts machine. I'm gonna try to show you guys the easiest way to get a flywheel off. You're gonna want a pry bar, whatever you want to call it, crowbar. What's a steep angle? Get it between somewhere that you can apply pressure onto. I don't know how I'm going to do this one-handed, but see how I'm wiggling it in there. Then you're going to want to take a hammer. Look at this multitasking. Just gently pound it in there. See it starting to move. Oh, I felt it pop. Should be. It's coming off. Just a sec, I'll come back when it's alright. We got her off. She's hung up a little bit. So you can see the magneto. Make sure that both these line up. Now you can see here, the teeth on this flywheel are starting to wear down compared to that. See the difference in the teeth? That starter right there is a problem. So if we, just a sec. If we look at the factory starter versus the replacement starter, which someone put on, you see a pretty big difference in the gear. And usually what destroys the flywheels is a small difference that you really can't tell the difference, like between the two. But there's just a huge difference between the two starters, so it's just eating the gear. So we'll get a new starter on there and should be good to go. Now behind this cover, I believe is the flyball spacer. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But hopefully we don't have to deal with that. But if we do, already pulled the engine out once. It was easier than I thought. Can do it again if I have to. Just want to get a good run of machine out of this. Yep. I'll come back when the flywheel's back on. Alright, we got both the starters off. This one here is the one that does not like to work. And as you can see, the teeth are all shaved down. It's pretty shitty. And this one's the one I'm putting back in. Teeth are a little bit wore, but it's not nearly as bad. And plus, they're wore down to that exact flywheel, since it is the original Onan branded starter, compared to this aftermarket one from China. We're gonna get it mounted right there. Yeah, you like all the crap I busted off everything. Pulled it off of this old girl. Very happy I didn't scrap that motor. Probably button it back up, but yep, we're getting her done. All right, we got the starter and the flywheel mounted up. Now time to put the shrouds back on and mount it right in the frame. Easier said than done, right? Well, this should be interesting. See how she runs. Now I do have to play with some wiring on it, but I'll figure it out later. I'm not gonna screw with it right now. Just get her running decent and get the starter working. Again, gotta put a blower on it, see how she works. Alrighty, so we got the whole engine cleaned up and put back together. See, the parts one is not looking too good right now, but it is a parts one. I do feel bad, but it's missing a cylinder. So, yep, it's getting ready to get dropped back in. I'll check back in with you guys when I get the motor mounted in the frame or just set in there before I bolt it down. I got a trick that I want to show you how to bolt it down.